Ladies, I'm here on the show. And I'm here talking about some NFL news, so I want to get this uploaded. Filmed and uploaded here. So let's get right into it. So, first thing I'm talking about, per Tom Pelissero, the hashtag Bears, they have put in a request to interview Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken for their head coaching job, per source. So they're going to have to go after Todd Monken. I don't know, I mean, it might be a good, I feel like it maybe be a good pickup if they went after Todd Monken, but that'd be a big loss for the Ravens and offensive coordinator. But I mean, they still have talented players, obviously, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. Even if Todd Monken left, I still think they would be good, but Todd Monken thinks a good offensive coordinator. So, now Ian Rappaport. The hashtag Saints have requested an interview with hashtag Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore for their vacant head coach position. Per Ian Rappaport and Mike Garofalo, Moore's first of this cycle. So, you know, kind of feels a lot like the Cardinals interviewing, Jonathan Gannon before the Super Bowl and causing a distraction. Could this cause a distraction for this Philadelphia Eagles football team? I mean, I don't think so, and I don't think he would go to the Saints. The Eagles are a much better team, just much better talent. I wouldn't leave for the Saints if I'm Kellen Moore. So, sources. Hashtag Packers standout wide receiver Christian Watson is believed to have torn his ACL and suffered additional damage, ending his season and putting the beginning of 2025 in jeopardy. A frustrating reality for that talented pass catcher. He just can't catch a break, man. Like, it was a non-contact injury. It didn't look good. It just sucks. So he got hurt. He suffered so much. He suffered so many injuries, man. So, Coach Matt LaFleur confirms he's out for the season, saying it's not good. So, yeah, it sucks that one of the receivers are down. So, Raiders head coach, per Mike Garofalo, Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce says he hasn't, and quote, heard anything different, other than he's back for 2025. Says all of that talk coming from the outside, not the inside. He's changing. Just win, baby. Just give effort, guys. Are they really keeping Antonio Pierce? Like, he's not a good coach. Like, I'm sorry, man. I just don't think he's a good coach. It's time to write off 2025 for the Las Vegas Raiders, but wearing a Raiders starter jacket, Pierce discussed the plans for the offseason and next season. Well, they're already tanking for next year already. Seems about right. Look, I just don't think he's the coach for him. Like, I know the roster isn't that good. All they have is really Brock Bowers and Max Crosby. But they need a new coach, man. They gotta improve this roster. But I guess they just like losing. So, Jaguars owner Shahid Khan, on the ongoing media call, talked up the talent on the roster and said, right now we are very predictable on both sides of the ball. Clear that Khan wants innovation as the head coaching search kicks off. Well, fire the terrible GM you got, and maybe get a good coach, and maybe a good coach will want to join your football team. And I could maybe think of an example or two. Maybe Ben Johnson, but I don't think you want to go to a depressing Jaguars team. So the Bears, they've requested to speak with Giants offensive coordinator Mike Kafka, source said, for their vacant head coach job. How How is it possible to have looked around to the entire league and go, yeah, you know, who we want to interview? Let's just interview Mike Kafka for our head coaching job. Are they trying to win 5 games next year? The worst team in the NFL. Have they watched a single Giants game this year? He's not a good play caller. And like, he wasn't play caller this year. Well, it's even worse. How does a Giants offensive coordinator get a head coach here? Worst offense in the NFL. Bears, hire that man. Let's hire that man. I thought this was a joke. I'm interviewing my fucking Mike Kafka. They're really trying to ruin Caleb Williams, aren't they? This seems like a Bears type move. Like, are you sure you want him? So he's probably a top 3 worst offensive coordinator in the league. So, Robert Kraft, the Patriots owners, had some comments, and I'll talk more about that. The fiery drop Mayo when I get to it. But he said the top personnel executives, Elliott Wolf and Alonzo Highsmith, will be involved in head coaching interviews for Jerome Mayo's successor. We are looking for people working together, and they will be staying on. I mean, we'll see what they do. I mean, I feel like they're going to hire Mike Vrabel, but I could be wrong. But we'll see. So the Seahawks. They have fired offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb after 1 season with the team, sources say. I feel like it was time, man. They're moving on from him as they make the expected move, firing Ryan Grubb. I mean, I feel like it's the right move. I mean, why was that expected? Yes, Geno threw for over 4K, but he had so many interceptions. The offense just was way too inconsistent with the firepower they have. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't give him 1 more year, but I still expect. I mean, it's still kind of expected. And they were almost last in the league for rushing yards, so. But I don't think he was perfect. I mean, he wasn't bad. He just wasn't perfect. So Dave Canales confirmed Ejiro Evero will be back as their defensive coordinator for the Panthers. Leaves open possibility there could be other change on the defensive staff. How's the worst defense not enough to get him fired? I mean, yes, Derek Brown suffered like a season-ending knee injury in Week 1, but their defense with Derek Brown in Week 1 got fucking destroyed. I mean, yeah, maybe his defense will help Bryce Young continue to build confidence in practice. This is literally a trash defense, and they're bringing him back. I don't get it. So, from per Jane Slater, two sources informed tells me the Saints are going to interview David Shaw for their head coach position. Shaw is currently a senior personnel executive for the Denver Broncos. He was the head coach at Stanford for 12 years and coached QBs like Andrew Luck and Davis Mills. He also has an extensive background in the NFL as assistant head coach with Eagles, Ravens, and the Raiders. So, I don't know if he'd be the guy for him. So, Terry Arnold, the x-rays in his foot come back, and the rookie told Dave Burkett, I'm playing the Lions' first playoff game. So, finally some good injury news that he's actually going to play in their first round play, in their divisional playoff game. So, Ravens Pro Bowl wide receiver Zay Flowers. It's a day-to-day injury, and John Harbaugh clarified it's not a season-ending injury. Sounds like it will be a challenge this week, but after that, it's possible it's a knee injury. He suffered a sprain. They always have a key offensive player get injured before the playoffs. It feels like every year. I don't know why they didn't rest him. I mean, I know they needed him, but it wasn't like they were going to win It wasn't. They still won the division, so yeah. QB Deshaun Watson, he suffered a setback during his Achilles recovery, throwing his stats about. Oh no! Devastating news for Deshaun Watson that he suffered a setback. Couldn't have happened to a better player. So the Bears had put in a request to speak with Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator Drew Petzing, source said a rising impressive coach. Oh God. I don't know if he's an impressive coach. Yeah, sure thing, pal. Didn't utilize Marvin Harrison Jr. enough. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, the guys completely failed to incorporate their number 4 overall pick. Yeah, it seems like a Bears move. The Jets put in a request to interview Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy for their head coaching job. Holy Jets. Yeah, surely he would fit their winning culture. Now, what are the Jets trying to cook up here, ladies and gentlemen? Like, what are they trying to cook up here? Matt Nagy. So, source, we have 2 more stories about the Jets. The Jets have requested to interview Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady for their vacant head coach job. Well, request denied, and also, there's no chance he would leave Josh Allen to go with a washed Aaron Rodgers and terrible Jets team. I would block that request immediately. And also, the Jets have requested to interview Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, source said. Arthur Smith. The Jets know him. He interviewed twice for their job 4 years ago before he landed in Atlanta, and New York hired Robert Saleh. That would be the most Jets hires, fucking Arthur Smith. That would not be the answer for them. The Jets have requested to interview Chiefs assistant GM Mike Borgonzi for their vacant GM job, source said the lieutenant for Brett Veach. Yeah, that'd be a good hire, but I don't think he's going there, buddy. The Jets have put in a request to speak with Texans offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick, source said. His first request of the Cycler to being a hot candidate last year. Did they not watch a single Texans game this year? His offense regressed. But, yep, they're interviewing these terrible candidates. We already talked about Deshaun Watson. Wasting no time, the Bears have requested interviews with Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn for their head coaching job, per sources. I wouldn't get too excited. I don't know if they're going to hire him. The Giants have now released a statement saying Coach Brian Dable and GM Joe Shane are back, so they will be back next year. It doesn't come as a surprise. I mean, I thought they would fire Brian Dable, but they're going to keep him back next year. So, the Jaguars made a major move, firing Coach Doug Peterson at the end of a frustrating season. Sources tell Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, so this isn't a surprise. I don't know who their new coach will be. I don't really see a stacked roster. Like they're saying. I don't know. We'll see who they hire. It'll be interesting to see who they hire. So the wild card schedule for Saturday is Chargers, Texans, Steelers, Ravens on Saturday. Sunday, Bills, Broncos, Packers, Eagles, and then the Wheat Art Commanders. Versus the Bucks, and then Monday, Vikings, Rams. So the Dolphins will be keeping, I believe, Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel on board for next season, and Tyreek Hill is, he wants out, basically. He shouldn't have went there anyway. He should have stayed with Mahomes. And Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen, Jim Irsay said they will stay back for next season. That's a bad move, too. Just like the Dolphins are, keeping their GM, their head coach, to fire them both. Jerod Mayo is out. He's fired after 1 season. They're moving on. The front office remains intact as of now. The success only in 1 year to turn around the franchises. I don't know if it's a good decision, but I don't know if he's ready to be a head coach. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Because, yes, they only gave him 1 season, but I don't know if he would have been a good head coach. They really didn't give him a chance, but I just don't know if he was ready to be a head coach. Tommy! Browns fired their offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey, per sources, so no changes for head coach and GM, but they will be getting a new offensive coordinator. The Chicago Bears have sought permission to interview head coach, Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy, and are waiting a response from Dallas. Sources tell Schefter and Todd Archer. Kind of mentioned this a few days ago. Felt he might be a better coach there than he is here. The Bears requested head coaching interviews with Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores and Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. Typical Bears. Jalen Hurts is still in concussion protocol. We'll see how that goes throughout the week. The 49ers requested an interview with 49ers QB coach Brian Grease. I already say that name. New York Jets put in a request to interview Broncos defensive coordinator Vance Joseph for their head coaching job. But yeah, that's all the NFL news I got to talk about here, so until next time out, peace.